was lucky enough to have The Last of Us for about 3 weeks before I posted my review for the game. I dug into the single-player campaign eagerly, and I absolutely adored it. The Last of Us is a true masterpiece. But it has this awesome multiplayer component too, and I fear a lot of PlayStation gamers are in danger of ignoring it. I got to play online for several hours before the game came out, and I had a blast. But it wasn't until the general public got the game that multiplayer began to shine even more. In short, not playing The Last of Us Online is a mistake, and that's coming from someone who usually steers clear of co-op or multiplayer of any kind. I'm the kind of guy who auto-mutes people in lobbies, and yes, I do that in The Last of Us too. But take it from me, The Last of Us Online should not be missed.
That's one down. Nice work. If any more of them show up, we got this.
Here's what I love about it. It's brutal and it's tactical. There are only 2 modes to speak of, Supply Raid and Survivors, and both accommodate only 8 players. This isn't Call of Duty or Battlefield. You need to approach the game differently, especially when you're playing my very favorite mode, and basically the only mode I play post-release, Survivors. Survivors is basically a one-life-only mode that pits teams of 4 against each other on one of 6 maps. Making things more interesting is that Survivors is a best-of-7 series, giving you chances to experiment, make mistakes, and figure things out. Crawling slowly around maps like the university or the dam, waiting for your opponents to show themselves is grueling, nerve-wracking, and unpredictable, capturing the essence of the single-player campaign to a T. You're not Joel when playing online, and Ellie is nowhere to be found, but the tenseness is still very much there. You can create everything from the single-player campaign in multiplayer, from smoke bombs to wooden beams with scissors taped to the end of them. And you'll have a litany of firearms at your disposal as well. The Last of Us's online modes have perks and other cool customization options, and there's a really neat metagame underlying everything too. One that gives you a group of survivors you have to tend to and take care of. This gives each and every match you play true, lasting consequences. I'm not all that great at Survivors. My kill-to-death ratio hangs around 1 at all times, but I absolutely love plotting my strategy, slinking around silently, and waiting for my chance to pounce. There's nothing better than concocting a Molotov cocktail using items found as you explore, and lighting an enemy on fire for an instant down and execution. Or armoring up, showing yourselves, and letting your firearms do the talking. Of course, there's another side of that coin, getting worked. It's horrifying to suddenly feel someone coming up behind you only to shiv you in your neck, giving you no hope of retaliating. Or being surrounded by a group of enemies with only a few bullets in your gun. Being stranded while injured with no teammates in your vicinity to heal you is so tangibly helpless. It's in these ways that The Last of Us's online mode simply ups the wow factor. I gravitate towards really strange games online, games like Fear 3, that do something truly different than your military bro shooters do. And The Last of Us is one of those games that could, and does, so easily appeal to people like me who are otherwise averse to playing online. Yes, The Last of Us's campaign is perhaps one of the best in gaming history, and it would be a complete and awesome package without any multiplayer functionality at all. But Naughty Dog didn't just thoughtlessly tack on multiplayer in this game. It's there for a reason, and I highly recommend you give it a go and see why it's so good for yourself. For more on all things PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation Vita, keep it tuned to IGN.